Something about the issue. I know there's some issues with people receiving their tips from Uber, and I came across this issue with one of my customers because I looked in some way, somehow inside the app, where I got a notification that, especially on the deliveries, the tips can be added up to an hour later. Then I saw something about some tips can be added like 72 hours later. And so as I was digging into my Uber app, I found this under the help section. It simply says here, if you go under earnings, you can go under earnings. Under help, you see help at the top. You can go under earnings. If you go under earnings, under the help section, you're going to go under general information. If you hit general information, and then you go down here where it says how tips work. Let me look at one little thing here. It says how do tips work? So when you click on how tips work, so when you click on it tells you how Uber tips work. It says how tips work. It says in-app tipping is available for all trips/orders in cities that have the tipping functionality. Both riders and eaters have up to 30 days to add a tip to a trip or order. It says facts about tips from Uber Eats customers. Customers add a tip when they place their order. Tips are included in the amount you see on the offer card. Customers can edit their tip up to 1 hour after the delivery has been completed. Fun facts. It says also note, because customers have up to 1 hour after the delivery is completed to edit their tip amount, it may take time to appear in your earnings. If a customer decides to increase, reduce, or remove the tip they previously entered, your earnings for the for the trip will be affected accordingly. Facts about tips from riders. Estimated trip earnings do not include tips. Riders can tip up to 30 days after the trip is completed. Any cash gratuity offered by a rider is voluntary, and if a rider wishes to tip you in cash, please feel free to accept. And then when you go up here, you just scroll up. For further assistance, chat with us below. Let this thing catch up. And it says one of the options for chat is you disagree with the tipped amount for orders. So you can click that little slide bar and it should move over and you can submit a claim. It says share details. You can do that. It says drivers, those who only drive. It says riders are able to tip up to 30 days after the trip is completed. Any cash gratuity offered by a rider is voluntary. If a rider wishes to tip you, please feel free to accept. And then it has these questions: date of trip, month, date, year. You have questions on how tipping works. You can click the little slider. You want to know how to opt in for tipping. Click that. I didn't know you could opt in for tipping. These people are funny. You want to know how to opt out of tipping. Who would opt out of tipping? Uber's weird. It's craziness, but I want to share this because I just found this. It says you want to check if a tip was added to a trip. You can click that. Slide it over. You want to know how tipping works for fleet operators or fleet drivers. You can click that and then you hit submit. That's all you got to do. So if you want to know anything about tipping, every trip you go on, you can submit one of these claims. Did I get a tip? And you respond, they'll respond to you, or hopefully they will. So I just want to come on here and share this little bit with you because I know there's a little bit of confusion about tipping and how it works. Many people, even me, I wonder, wow, I did this trip and I just got a tip 2 weeks later. So just never know. Maybe some people don't always take Uber. Maybe they take Uber on the next trip. It says, oh, would you like to tip your previous driver? Even on deliveries. Most of the time, I don't think I've ever seen getting a tip days later on a delivery. It's usually within an hour, the tip's reduced, or maybe a couple hours. I get the tip or I don't get it. So anyway, I just wanted to come on and share this little bit with you, just to know. Once again, it says go under the help section in your Uber app. Click back here. You see help right there. Go under earnings. Show this to you one more time. Go under general earnings information. In my app, it's at the top. It's going to pull up, and then it's going to go under how tips work. You see that on the bottom, how tips work. And it pulls up the facts about tips. So you'll have a good night. Hopefully everything works good with you. And I just wanted to come on and share this little bit of information that I found on the Uber app about tipping, because many people, they wonder, wow, I know I got a tip. The customer told me they tipped. And then it might be hours, days, weeks, almost a month later before you get that tip. So does Uber steal the tips? Yeah, they've been sued for stealing tips. Uber, I believe, Lyft. So how they possible they steal a tip? They take that money, they get interest on it, and they pay you. Because, like I say, you see, it says they have up to 30 days to pay you. Whether they pay you right now, whether Uber's holding the money, collecting interest on it, I don't know. Anyway, you see it's in writing. Y'all have a good night. Just want to share this little bit of information with you. Y'all be blessed out there. Stay safe, blessed, and prosperous. Go back home with more money in your pocket than when you started your day or your shift. So, blessings. I'm out.